All right, guys, we are live, episode 178 of Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Everybody's in the house today. Nikki Clevenger, I always catch her at the perfect timing.
Sorry
As
if
soon
I'm
as she
taking a bite of food. Hey, everyone.
I could have went to somebody else, but I'm like, hold on, she's putting it in her, she's putting something in her mouth right now. Perfect time to go to her, right?
He does that on purpose.
Thanks.
Yeah. Jennifer Seymour is joining us. What's going on, Jen?
Hello, everybody.
And Mr. Springfield Armory in the house, Dustin Plouffe, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, man.
Don't ask him any questions.
Doing pretty good. And we have the guest and star of the hour, Adam Risers, joining us. What's going on, Adam?
Howdy. Don't get Dustin riled up, man. We'll never get to anything else.
Yeah, we never get anything else in here. Yeah, right. If you want, you guys, if you missed the pre-show, you guys can go check that out. Dustin goes on a little rant. It's pretty funny. But whatever. Definitely the show sponsors here are the folks over at Tactical Shit. Shop.tacticalshit.com. They did a bunch of videos over from NRA show. Dustin was involved in some of these videos.
Yeah.
But what's new with Tactical Shit as far as product wise right now?
So I know they're getting in a whole bunch of new of the 80% lowers, the new versions from those guys at 80 proof. I know they're getting some new. I haven't gone over there and tried out, but they got some new triggers and got some new barrels coming in. They're teaming up with Adams Arms, and they teamed up with Proof Barrels. They have some new upper that they'll have over there. So yeah, TJ and the guys over there are doing all kinds of stuff. And actually, I'll be shooting them with them on Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday, I believe, for the Tactical Shit Spartan 300. It's going to be this huge shooting match. It's kind of a steel challenge, not like accuracy steel challenge, like the gauntlet steel challenge, where it's a point system. 300 points total, I guess, is your thing. On each stage, there's like 50 targets, par times, bonus points, and all that cool fun stuff. So, yeah.
Excellent. There it is. Check out the folks over at shop.tacticalshit. We have, or tacticalshit.com if you want to go to their blog. We have a discount code coming for you later on in the show from them. Also, if you want to ask your questions to Adam live here during the show, a good way to do that is if you're on the YouTube side of things, top right-hand corner is like a join the conversation thing. Pop your question in there. I'll try to get it live and get it over to Adam. Also, on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page, we put up a post. If you prefer to use Facebook, you can put in your comment in that post. We'll grab them throughout the show.
If you prefer to talk to me, do Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it seems like everybody's going on YouTube and they want to give me more work to do. I understand.
Yeah, come to Facebook and give me some love.
Exactly. So go over there. And the shootersmindset.com for all your Shooter's Mindset needs. We have a blog article that just went up from Jessica on how to survive your first few matches. I know if you can get over that hump and actually get involved in your first match, she has a great article to help you stay encouraged and throughout those first few matches. It can be a little intimidating when you're out there seeing some AMU guys or some top master GM class and he's burning it down, and then
some baller with an STI.
Yeah, I need to read that. I need to read that article, and I've already been shooting for 3 years. I probably still need to read that article.
Yeah, so go check that out. It's at theshootersmindset.com, and we have a shop over there, a bunch of stuff. Go check it out. All right. But for those who are unfamiliar with you, Adam, tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got involved in the firearms industry.
Yeah, I moved down to Salt Lake here a few years ago, and kind of grew up on a farm in Eastern Washington shooting stuff, and I met a friend of a friend. He's my buddy's roommate. And we kind of had that conversation like everybody has, and at the end of it, you're always like, yeah, we should go shooting sometime. And of course, the end of that conversation, it never happens. But Eric was a little bit different. He was pretty psyched to go shoot, so he called me up and he found a little local match down here that was designed to introduce people to competitive shooting. We went out and shot that, shot a few USPSA matches, and then went and shot a 2-gun match. And it was right about there that I realized that this was going to cost me tens of thousands of dollars, and I was in serious trouble. So I've been shooting.
That's when you realized that getting addicted to cocaine would have been cheaper.
It would have been so much cheaper. Oh man, I would have gone for some good hardcore drugs, maybe some IV stuff. But Yeah, instead I picked 3-gun. It was way more expensive. I'd probably be driving a Ferrari right now if it wasn't for all this stuff. But so yeah, I've been shooting for a handful of years now. Went and took a class down at the Tactical Performance Center, which helped my game out significantly. And a couple seasons later, I'm teaching 3-gun classes down there, so it's a lot of fun. I like it. Excellent.
I mean, and you were kind of an adrenaline junkie, right? You did some what is it, mountain climbing, and you were kind of an instructor for that, teaching people how to do that. And then you did some, was it rafting stuff, or and you were instructor for that and showing people kind of the wild outdoor side. And then you come in with 3-gun, and it kind of fits the bill, right?
Yeah, for sure. I used to be a river guide way back in the day, and then I became a climbing guide. Guided on Mount Rainier, and I'm still a climber. I'm an alpine climber, so I go on expeditions and try to climb big mountains and climb rock in the summer and ice in the winter. And I really, really liked the teaching aspect of being a guide, both river guide and climbing guide. And it's pretty awesome now with 3-gun. I get the chance to do that again.
That's awesome, man. Those are some big mountains. I've been on Mount Hood and Mount Rainier. And,
oh, cool.
Yeah, so I definitely know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I used to guide on Mount Rainier a lot. I've been up at like, oh man, I forgot the count. I think it's like 28 times.
Wow.
That's crazy. I just remember like when we went out to Washington State, like in the airplane, and like I looked at the side, and like the mountain is like right there, like not like down. No, it's right there.
Like straight across. We actually
like
we have a lot
eye level.
Yeah, we would have a lot of pilots as clients who were like, I fly over this all the time. I really just kind of want to go climb this thing. That happened a lot.
There you go. I mean, I don't know if I can do it, man. I'm afraid of heights, I don't.
Well, mountain climbing like that, there's no real heights involved. It's just kind of a big steep slope. Some mountains, it's, kind of drop a fork and watch it fall for 12 seconds before it hits the glacier stuff. That's way more fun. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that probably if I wasn't scared of exercise.
How are you scared of exercise? How is that a thing?
Yeah, when Nikki weighs like nothing.
Yeah.
So I guess it's
just
just
sit here
good
and eat my
genes.
salad covered in buttermilk ranch.
Yeah.
I don't really want to hear about how you can eat a salad smothered with buttermilk ranch and stay that size. We're not going to talk about it. You're like 29 or something.
29 forever. From now on.
There you go. Also, but you're also involved in the suppressor community. You're marketing manager for Amtech Suppressors, right?
Yep. Yes, indeed. Started that a couple years ago now, and it's been a really interesting change from the climbing world to the firearms industry. It's exactly the same. There's all the same people. It's just exactly the opposite.
Right on. I mean, the suppressor industry has really been booming over the last few years. We're seeing big gun manufacturers all of a sudden manufacturing suppressors. A lot of these smaller companies, all of these new names kind of popping up. And it seems like the competitive pricing for suppressors is also, coming down a little bit as these newer guys and all these guys are kind of competing now. I mean, what is Amtech doing to stand out over the competition when all this is kind of growing?
Yeah, so primarily what we do is over barrel suppressors. So you got cans like this guy here. This is our Hornet. So we do a 9mm pistol caliber carbine suppressor. It fits very nicely on this little GMR 15 from JP. And they're over barrel cans, so they only add about 3.5 inches to the end of your barrel. Yeah, so the barrel actually, it's tucked in the handguard just a little bit, but the barrel goes to there, and the can drops onto there, and then threads into place. So the real problem is, everyone wants to build their stuff nice and short, so you drop, $200 on your 10-inch lower, and then you drop $200 in your can, and then you're out 2 tax stamps, you put them together, and you're right back to an 18-inch rifle again. So this allows us to build something that's really short. We have a 10.5-inch 300 blackout with a pistol length gas system on it in our demo fleet, and it's right around 14 inches, fully suppressed, hearing safe, full auto rated, all that good stuff. Also, we try really hard to make things as accurate and as durable as we possibly can. Our kind of parent company is Advanced Manufacturing Technologies, and they do stuff for DoD, aerospace, medical. We did parts for Predator drones. We did the boosters for the SpaceX rocket, the one that lands upside down, or the the rocket that lands. We didn't do the landing gear. That was not our fault. But what that does is it gives us access to a really impressive group of people, both engineers and machinists, who are used to making stuff with a lot of zeros worth of tolerance. So it makes for a very accurate package.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through the suppressor weight right now.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, since I work in the gun shop, it's interesting how that design is, because I'm trying to do this with a different brand suppressor, but I'm trying to, sync it into the handguard and the adapter for it, and then I have a 4.5. 4.5. I need a pin and weld their adapter, and then I got to get their adapter, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Then I got to get a handguard that's going to fit that suppressor so it looks like it's countersunk into the whatever, just like the one you had. Yeah. And so I've wasted some money on some products that I thought would work and they actually didn't work.
Yeah.
So hey, hit me up I got plenty of handguards right now for sale. I'm serious about this.
I was gonna
if
say,
you guys want a handguard,
that's the market right now, is the ID inner diameter of the handguard to can ratio is definitely a market that I think is going to be booming, especially with the boom of silencers and then the cool guy factor of in syncing it into your handguard, into your barrel. If it's not a barrel overlay can, definitely what you're saying is I have an 8.5 inch SBR, and then my can sticks out another 6 inches, so about 3 of that inches is actually in my handguard, so it still reaches out just a little bit, but I'm definitely well with under the 16, so it is still my little truck gun. But I think that's going to be another market.
And these suppressors, they go directly to the thread pitch. There's no comps or anything that we need to put on it, or no weird attachments or anything.
No, there's no comps or quick attach or anything like that. We do that for a few reasons. One is comps tend to, and I say tend to because you can have a very accurate comp attached suppressor or a direct or a quick detached suppressor. But what happens is you end up with a lot of tolerance stacking issues, right? So if you thread the can directly to the barrel, it's generally going to be more accurate. And then so we just crack off the bird cage, thread that thing right in there. And then also the reason for the quick attach or quick detach is so you can take it off and put it in your bag. But if you put your whole rifle together and it's only 14.5 inches long, as Justin knows, you don't need to take the thing off to put in the bag. You just throw it in there. It's just trucking. So.
Yeah, that was one of the frustrating things. So I have a 45 can, I have a 9 can, and I have a 30 cal can that I just got my paperwork back just a few days ago. So it was like the mass exodus of either barrels or adapters, or I need to get this threaded of all your firearms, because you start realizing I can silence everything. This is so fantastic. The pain is that the barrel that I actually had on my 9mm was instead of half by 36, it was half by 40.
Half 28.
Yes, I'm sorry. Half by 28 is what it should have been. It was half by 36, and so the pitch was wrong. And I was like, oh crap! So I had to have it rethreaded to direct thread the silencer on there.
We do thread adapters for just about every combination you can imagine because of exactly that. So the Hornet can or 9mm can is a half 36 thread, which unfortunately, as you guys know, there's no such thing as industry standard for anything anywhere in the firearms industry. It's like, oh, this is no. It's like, no, it's not. So some companies do a half 28, some do a half 36. SIG is like the 13.51 left hand or some craziness. Half 36 can, because that keeps you from accidentally putting your 223 suppressor on your 9mm rifle.
Yeah.
And we're big fans of that because we have a whole bunch of stuff in our demo fleet, and that's no good. So, but we do thread adapters for pretty much any combination you could possibly need.
So how do you feel about the step down threads? So like going from a 36 or anything, I guess, any thread adapter from pistol cal to rifle cal.
So sorry, you're saying using a larger can on a smaller round, or you're changing threads specifically?
Both. I guess.
Okay.
So having a 36 going to a 28. So having that thread adapter, just to change the pitch of it, and then I guess, how do you feel about and you're getting a 45 can shooting 9 through it, and et cetera, a 30 cal can shooting 223 through it.
Yeah. So with the thread change, it depends very much on how good that thread adapter is, because there's thread adapters that are made in China, and there's thread adapters that are made in aerospace grade CNC factories. So you just want to get a good one, and you're in pretty good shape. Like I said, with the quick attach, break attach suppressors, things like that, you can do it well and you can do it poorly. So you just need to get a good one, and you'll be in pretty good shape. It's always going to be better to have a suppressor and a rifle that started exactly the same, but for those times when you can't deal with it, they work just fine. As far as shooting like a 223 through a 30 cal, it really depends on the rifle. It depends on the suppressor. Some suppressors do better than others. With ours, we find generally a 1 to 2 decibel loss in performance going from a 30 cal to a 223. So if you put a 30 cal can on a 5.56 rifle, if that rifle is normally metering at 136, it's generally going to meter at 137 to 138. Threshold for human hearing is 3 decibels. So usually people can't even tell the difference decibel wise. And you see a lot of cans now, they're like, oh, you can use it for everything. And all they do is change the little end. Even that, we're like, we're not even going to bother, because it's such a little difference that nobody can really tell the difference. And all it's going to do is add cost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, a barrel, sync up to your can, and then ammunition definitely used as well. And the conditions, outdoor conditions, indoor conditions. So I'm at an indoor range, and we sell silencers in-house and from other manufacturers as well. So we have it where you got your foreman, you got visitation rights. So you can come in and play with it, but you just got to give it back before you leave,
Go and hug it.
Conjugal visits kind of deal.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I do. It's at the freaking place that I work at. And I just pull it out, look at it, take a picture for Instagram, and put it back in the safe. Jesus.
So you just molest your suppressor until you can actually use it?
Yeah, you got to screw it on, and then go drop a mag, and then go, put it
You're
back
$1,200 into the can, and I can only visit it for a year.
Yeah. Well, I think wait times are about 9 months right now, so you should be in pretty good shape here. So, hi, dog. Murphy, come on. My dog's trying to join the conversation here. What's up, puppy?
I like silencers.
Yeah, he likes silencers. He's a fan of anything that gets him outdoors. Oh my God, you're on the earphones down. All right, go on. Go ahead.
That's why I keep mine on mute, because my dogs are over here fighting with each other over nothing. They're fighting over a dog bed.
So that video you posted up. That video you posted up with, or it was like the remembery thing, Nikki. Sagan was rolling
my
on
boss dog.
Yeah, Sagan was literally rolled out of bed laughing about that.
Clumsy.
I miss him so much, but yes, that is my little cinder block. I tried to put in a gun video, and he ate it.
Yeah. I got a live question here from Wyatt McNeil. He says, "Hey Adam,
oh God,
have you ever laughed so hard you had to stop mid-stage and catch your breath?"
Yeah, Wyatt already knows the answer to this. Stage 18 at Area 1, I was having a particularly bad match. It was my last match with the Glock. I was in all kinds of issues with it. My Glock's pretty thrashed. And I kind of messed something up in the middle. I dropped a magazine during a reload, ran to the next box, realized I was going to need that mag, and ran back, got it. And everybody behind me kind of started busting up laughing. And it's up on my YouTube channel. I have a video of me laughing so hard that I'm holding the gun out, and there's like a little head box with a no shoot below it, and I'm laughing so hard my sights are drifting to the no shoot. I was like, I'm gonna plug this guy right in the face if I don't calm down a little bit. So yeah, so I had to I had about 10 seconds worth of just standing there waiting for my body to let me shoot again. That was fun.
Yeah, you gotta love the squad mates, man. especially on the local scene, man.
That
Yeah.
was a
If they
great.
see you hit a no shoot, they're just laughing their ass off, and you're
that
like,
was-
"What happened? Oh, you
That
just
was
hit two no
probably
shoots over."
the best squad I've ever been on. You needed some thick skin to be on our squad for sure, but we had an awesome time. That was yeah. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, I love the guys who like talk to themselves. Like, I love back in the day when Pat shot a lot of tournaments or a lot of matches. Pat Kelly, that
He'll
dude.
narrate the whole thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, he just talks to you the whole time, or he's just talking to himself the whole time, and you're like, this is hilarious. Like, I couldn't do this. I couldn't be like saying things and doing other things as fast as he does.
I love shooting with Mark Lieber. We say that he has shooting Tourette's because whenever we get on the stage, he'll the whole time be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. And like he's cussing and he's carrying on and he's talking the whole time and he's cussing and yelling and we're just all back there laughing. It's so funny.
Yeah, in the climbing world, we call that stress-induced Tourette syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steph said, "Look who's back," referring to Dustin as far as being back.
I know. Our long lost co-host.
Johnny Scott says he just got here. He's so late. Havoc Legion shooting team says he's checking in and he is on baby duty. He's just listening, but thank Adam for us. Jason says, "What do you think of the CZ Braun 805? Just picked one up. I don't know nothing about that gun."
Yeah.
CZ.
It's probably a unicorn since it's CZ because they don't really exist like anywhere in inventory at all. So,
anybody have any experience with the CZ model? No,
not that one.
I don't.
Not that guy.
I do not. You could check out, former co-host Mickey Masterclass. He's part of czforum.com. So go check out the folks at czforum.com. And I'm sure there's some type of thread on that particular gun or rifle. Okay, so yeah, there's some guy, he's getting some responses from some dude in the comments. So I don't know if we have any on Facebook. If not, we can move on. No? All right. Being in suppressor business, what are your thoughts on the Hearing Protection Act? Do you think it's going to go through? And do you feel shooters should wait to buy their suppressors?
I'm just going to hit the play button on my canned response here because I've answered this about 1,000 times at SHOT Show and NRA and everything else. The Hearing Protection Act. So we had a meeting at SHOT Show and then another one at NRA with Todd Rathner, who's the head of the NFA Freedom Alliance. So he's the registered lobbyist who's working on this. And so he is the person who actually legitimately knows what's going on. And this is what Todd had to say, which is cannot be passed with the executive action because the way that it was enacted. It also cannot be, nothing from the NFA can be changed with a regular vote because it was a congressionally voted, however that works. I don't know how it works, but he says you need a 60-vote supermajority, which means 8 Democrats and all the Republicans. And since not even all the Republicans are willing to put their careers on the line to say that suppressors would be legal, and I sure don't know that 8 Democrats are willing to do it, Todd's bet is no way before midterm elections, maybe after midterm elections. So that's kind of Todd's line on that. In terms of should you wait to buy, well, if that's still 2 years off and the wait time right now is 9 months, I'm going to go with no, because 9 months is less than 2 years. There's also something to be said for the supply and demand side of things. If the Hearing Protection Act does go through, suppressors are going to look a lot like Sandy Hook. And we all remember people walking out of gun stores with $500 ARs that they just paid $2,000 for, and they had a smile on their face for some reason. And, we imagine the same thing. Murphy, come on, you're killing me, dude. Same thing is pretty likely to happen to suppressors because there's nothing in the Hearing Protection Act that says that regular manufacturing facilities can manufacture suppressor components. As it stands right now, you need an SOT to manufacture a component that's specifically designed for a suppressor. So you can't just farm it out to any dude with a machine shop or a lathe in his garage. So the places that can make suppressors now are still going to be the places that can make suppressors in the future. So supply is going to overrun demand real fast, and the wait time is most likely going to be worse than it is right now. So
yeah, I usually tell people the longer you wait, the longer you wait. Now that being said, I literally have a can sitting at my FFL at my store, just sitting back there. The one thing that I'm crossing my fingers with, I wasn't necessarily holding my breath of the Hearing Protection Act, which I would love it to pass as well. I was wanting something, that executive order to get canceled, of what the executive order took away our trusts. And that just because it's a pain in the butt for me to take off or change out or chase down the 8 or 10 people I have on my trust to add said several items that I want to add. So that's what I'm actually hoping for, is the redoing the trust stuff, where it's back to normal, or back to how it was.
I can't speak with authority on this because I really don't know for sure, but my understanding of it is that is something that can be changed with an executive order. And that's a total mess, as you've experienced it's like cat herding. You know, if people think that just doing a personal Form 4 is bad, try doing that with like 8 people who may or may not live in the same state as you. Yeah. So that's real messy.
So my trust, just to give you an idea, since we're both NFA guys, my trust is 73 pages long.
Good Lord.
It's literally like my guys who so shout out to Wes Cosley for the trust. So he's a local guy here, super big NFA guy. Like, he's got more toys than I can think of. And he just happened to be a lawyer. And I was like, hey, you got fun toys? And he's like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, let me set you up a trust. And I was like, okie dokie. And then he literally handed it to me. And it was like a stack of paper. So I was like, what is this? He's like, everything. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, what do I need to do? And he's like, nothing. I'm like, all right then. Just put toys on it. And he's like, yes. I'm like, got it. Nice. So instantly put like an SBR and 2 cans on it instantly as soon as the ink was dry. So
for people who are looking to put a trust together, get yourself a lawyer who has worked with NFA stuff before. Yes. I've seen people get trusts really messed up by lawyers who don't know what they're doing. So get yourself a good lawyer who understands you.
Oh yeah. I know nothing about this stuff. I just know I've been waiting 6 months for mine.
You should be coming up on it.
I'm just gonna sit back and learn on this show because I don't have any suppressors. So
yeah,
I don't have anything intelligent to.
We're gonna move off of suppressors real quick. We're gonna move into 3-gun stuff, and then we'll come back to suppressors in the end. But Tactical Performance has a great reputation for training some of the best shooters in the world. Some will consider or say that Ron Avery is the Yoda of instructors. How is it like working with Ken and Ron? And I got some few follow-up questions after that.
It's awesome. It's really cool working with those guys. When I went down and took my class as a student for the 3-gun stuff, Peterson, Brian Nelson, and Craig Outson, who taught that class, and it was fantastic. And I recently, just a few months ago, actually went down and took a pistol class from Ron, which was the handgun mastery class, which is in the grand scheme of Tactical Performance Center classes, kind of the intro class, because they have a competition of running around, shooting stages, things like that. The handgun mastery class is 3 days of literally just standing there, learning how to shoot a pistol extremely well. And I went down and took that because although I'm a pretty decent 3-gun shooter, when I go to straight up pistol matches, I just get stomped because my pistol skills aren't there. The things that make me a good 3-gun shooter is I'm able to run the rifle and the shotgun really well, and I can do all of the not shooting stuff pretty fast. But when it comes to actually shooting the pistol, I'm way behind the curve. So I'm man enough to recognize when I have a weak spot in my game. So I went down and took a class from Ron, and I was staying at the house with Ron and eating dinner with Ron. So it was like 3 uninterrupted days with Ron, which for anybody who's met Ron is a lot of Ron. He's a pretty intense dude. But it's cool that the way that guy approaches shooting, approaches teaching shooting, his understanding of how guns interact with your body, what you can do with your body to control guns to shoot better, is impressive. So if you're smart enough to go down there and watch and listen and just do what Ron says. When he tells you something, you're like, yeah, dude, there's no way that's going to work. That sounds just completely retarded. And you try and you're like, oh, actually, that's like 40% faster than what I've been doing this entire time. So
all the dumb, small little things.
It really is. It really is. And so like when he talks about like gripping the pistol is like half the day. It just where you should put pressure and how hard you should hold. And if you hold too hard, your hands become stiff and things actually move out of them easier. Where if you kind of keep your hands malleable, like, you know, a silly putty style, the gun actually stays in place better. And these really, really subtle things that make huge differences when you start shooting fast or start shooting long distances.
Yeah. I try to never shake Vogel's hand.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Because if you do it, if you've done it before and you're like, oh, hey, good to meet you. You know, like the first time you meet them or something like that. Now I'm just like, hey, Bob, what's up? Fist bump, boop.
Yeah.
or I'll just kind of like high five them, like, or hit him on the shoulder, like, nope, don't touch me. That dude has like the robo grip, kung fu grip.
His grip is nuts. If anybody wants more information on classes with a Tactical Performance Center, where can they go get these information?
You just go down to tacticalperformancecenter.com. They have a kind of not a curriculum, but a description of each class. They have a schedule on there that you can book your classes right then and there. Pretty much anything you need is right there.
And is there a multi-gun or 3-gun program starting up that?
Yeah, that's been going on for a couple years now. I was actually a student in the very first one that they did a couple seasons ago, and now there's kind of a little rotating cadre of instructors, including myself and Brian Nelson, Sam Travis. Sometimes Ken and Ron might come out and help. But yeah, we have a full-on 3-gun class. It's a 3-day class. There's a very little bit of pistol stuff in there because the pistol classes are 3-day classes in and of themselves. And if you get too wrapped around the axle on pistol stuff during the 3-gun class, you're not going to get to anything else. But they're fantastic classes for sure.
I need to go down there. We should all schedule like a group flight and
You
just
guys should come on down, man. I think we can work out the group discount. So
yeah,
that'd be fun.
I would like to go, you know, into a pistol course with 3-day.
Count me in for 2.
I've wanted to do Ron's class since we had Ron on here.
Yeah. And you know, if you guys want some 3-gun stuff, you guys can get. Do you have any dates, or is there? If they want to take that class with you, is there a certain way they have to do that? Just email you, or what?
No. Well, give me 1 second, and I'll just bring up the calendar, and I'll have some dates for you shortly.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind taking a pistol class and maybe getting back in gear since I'm taking a little bit of a lax year this year.
Now that you have an STI, you better learn how to shoot. No excuses.
I know, you got to
Yeah, I gotta learn the grip. Like the grip angle's weird now. I'm so used to shooting Glocks for years.
I got to remember to flip on a safety before I dump it in the barrel. So the next 3-gun class is June 16th. Then there's kind of a little break in the summer because it's about 4 bajillion degrees down there. Then we have September 15th is the next one after that, and November 17th is one after that. And they're all down at the Southern Utah Practical Shooters Range, I think it's called, which is in St. George, Utah.
Boom. There you have it. Check out some live. Oh, okay. So follow up on that CZ. It says it's a SCAR knockoff. I don't know, man. You got to send what? Yeah, dude, Leonard is in there. The czforum.com guys, man. I'm so foreign to CZ guns, man. I know a little bit about the pistol. Some of the, you know, the shadows and the Accu shadows and stuff like that. And if it breaks or if I have to clean it, no, I just don't know it. I would do some research on forums and YouTube videos and stuff like that. Just wrong person on that brand of gun. But there are some CZ4. There's so much information from CZ There's so many hardcore CZ guys out there that I'm sure you can find some information from them. Thanks for, you know, we appreciate you watching the videos also, Jason, thanks for the compliment over on the live stuff. TSM crew, TPC class, let's set it up. I mean, I agree. Yeah. I think if all of us can put together just one, you know, well, it's going to be a few days. But if we can all get our schedule together, I wouldn't mind flying out to Utah
Can we look at
taking a good-
2018?
There's
Yeah.
some other stuff we can do out in Utah too. So
Yeah, I think-
Can y'all do a weekend? Can it include some weekend days so I don't have to miss as much work?
Most
Yeah,
of
it's
the
good.
classes are right around other matches too. So if you guys come out like let's see, where is it at? Expedition Multi-Gun in Vegas is the weekend after the class on the 16th. So you guys can come out to that, take the class, shoot the match. It'd be awesome.
There you go.
You guys only have to take like a week and a half off. I'm sure all of you guys can swing that. It's not like you have other things to do. Like
None of us work full time, right?
Yeah, none of us have full-time jobs.
We're all
Yeah,
really professional
I'm sure-
students who don't have real jobs. You have to, spend other time doing stuff.
But you know, we're sponsored shooters. Don't we get like paid a whole lot of money? Isn't that what everybody
Oh
thinks?
yeah, I'm
All that free stuff, right?
Like, oh my
rolling deep.
God, I spend way more than I ever think about getting. So
Yeah, we got to set it up though. I mean, I don't know. I can always find a week for SHOT Show, generally speaking. So I'm sure I can find a week to go out there and train. Especially I've never been to Utah before, so we can see how that is.
They got good trout fishing too, so I don't know. That would be
Trout fishing.
that'd be a thing, man.
Yeah, there you go. I'm down for fishing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whatever. Shit, man. Now we're selling it. We're selling it to ourselves.
Telling Utah, come on, we're going.
Johnny Scott, he's in. Let's do it. So we have 4 people who wants in.
Well,
I know
he's just
Leo
going.
wants in too. So that's 5
Yeah.
people.
I don't travel alone, so there's 2 of me.
There you go. So we have 6 people already. If
We're going to
everybody can get
Utah,
get
baby,
their
to
shit.
take a class
From
And
Ron.
do trout fishing.
Adam.
and
Or
go
from
trout
both of them.
fishing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that Ron.
Could you imagine like having, okay, so you got like your pistol case and you got your big rod case and you're just like, hey, TSA.
It's bad
Yeah.
enough traveling to 3-gun matches. We actually had Delta lost a case when they were traveling to a show that had, 12 or 14 suppressors and 5 or 6 rifles in it, including 2 full auto lowers, and they just like straight up lost it. We're like, we don't know where it went. That was it was not awesome. So we got it back. It was in cold storage. They found it in the refrigerator.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? How does it end up there?
You're trying to apply logic to airline travel. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, it says like Leopold on the case. Let's throw it in the freezer. But again, people don't know. What any
Oh, I
of that
think they
stuff
do
means,
know. I
guess.
think they were trying to lose it, so somebody else could
purpose.
find it.
Hey, that's a nice come up. Some full auto lowers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all, Heath keeps talking about this
Slapping
trip
up
to
right?
Utah.
Yeah. See, there
He
it
said,
is.
"Let's
Now
go
we
ahead and pick." Let's go ahead and pick the dates before all the major matches come out for 2018, so we can be set and prepared.
I like where he had that.
There you go. Is there
It said
a class like? Well, no, that won't work. I'm thinking like something.
Can we
close
get a
to SHOT
custom
Show.
class if there's enough people? We bring 20 people.
If you guys
Can we get
if you guys bring 20 people, I am confident that we can build you a custom class.
Yeah.
We do stuff. TPC does stuff for all kinds of. I don't know exactly who I'm allowed to name, but people who are not competition shooters come down and request custom stuff all the time of lengths of their choosing, and we accommodate whatever they need. So if you guys roll up with 20 people and you're like, hey, we want to do this, we can teach you what everyone needs to know.
Boom.
Where
there
there's
you
a
have
will,
it.
there's a way. And we have guns.
I'm sorry if we moved on
Yep.
from that topic.
Yeah.
Have guns, we'll travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Okay, what's this
Adam.
one?
2016 hard as hell. Half the squad were former students. Half your squad was former students.
Yeah.
So, and one of your students happened to beat you on a particular stage. So I'm wondering, as an instructor, how did that make you feel? Did it make you feel like your job as an instructor was accomplished at that point? How did you feel about it?
Oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, shout out to Aaron. I don't know if he's listening to this or not. He's not much of a internet guy. He's kind of a Luddite, but yeah, we had the student there. That, he was basically me like 2 years before I started teaching the class, which was really fast, but sometimes in all the wrong places, and just it needed like a little bit of control. And on one of the stages, I put down just a blaze and run. I was super happy with it, and Aaron went after me, and we both took like many seconds out of the whole field, and he took me down by like 0.09 or something, just ridiculously minimal, and took home the stage win on that. And that was like the highlight of my shooting career so far, was having a student beat me on a stage and take home the stage winner to major matches. That was super cool.
Awesome. I mean, you also mentioned how those students saved your match. This is at 2016 Hard as Hell. How did they save that match for you?
We
Did you
rolled
forget
up
your ammo or something?
No. I feel like I could have recovered from that better, actually. We rolled up to the very first stage, and it starts off with a whole bunch of shotgun stuff, just kind of like 3 or 4 loads in there. And one of the things I preach in the classes when I'm talking about kind of match management is the very first thing you should do in your stage walkthrough is you should walk all the way around the back of the stage, and you should find all the targets, whatever the target count is on the stage, find them all. And if you can't find one, then you know that you're missing something vital. So I think I was like 3rd or 4th on that stage. But I'm on deck. I'm kind of doing my last little kind of mini walkthrough right before I shoot. And I'm going to shoot this here, load, shoot this here, load, shoot that, dump the shotgun. And I'm kind of miming this. And one of my students goes, "Hey, where are you going to shoot that popper that's back behind that barrel there?" I was like, "What popper?" Oh shit. I'm like, new plan. Just like started drilling the new plan into my head, about 45 seconds to do it. And so that saved me right off the get-go. And then, anybody who was there for stage 9, it's bad. My stage finishes at that match were like second place, first place, third place, second place, third place, 78th place. And stage 9 was kind of a disaster. And so after the stage, I kind of like walk off into the parking lot and have my 5 minutes and sort of, try to calm myself down a little bit and, not be jerked by anything. Can't be doing that. And I come back and one of my students walked up and he says, "This is that stage that you told us about in class where something is going to go wrong and you can't shoot the rest of your match like you just threw your match away. You have to shoot every stage like it's your only stage." And just kind of repeating back to me what I had said in class. I was like, "You're right, dude. You're right. That's totally awesome." And, went on and had a few pretty good stages after that. So he kind of talked me off the ledge a little bit. It was pretty sweet.
Awesome. And it was at the match. And how do you end up doing in that match? I mean, because 70th can really hurt your standings, even if you came back and shut it down on a couple of the other stages.
I ended up placing 3rd. That match actually only ended up costing me 1 place. I would have placed 2nd had that stage not been a stage, but I ended up placing 3rd with that, just barely, just eked it out. So I was still pretty happy with the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you sent me over some information prior to having you on the show, and I read through this, and I figured that there's a big part of motivation here. You said when you got involved in shooting, you went and shot what was it? Well, there's Hard as Hell, and then there's the MGM Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
And one of those matches, you went out and if it's one of your first major matches, I don't know too many people who shut it down and shoot an awesome match. In their first major match, you usually get crushed, right? And you said you got crushed, and then you came back with only like 2 years of really shooting competitively, and you take 2nd overall in Hard as Hell in 2015. So I'm wondering, what was your training regimen from that time you got crushed at a major till Hard as Hell 2015?
So what I really tried to do is have a very consistent training regimen where every single day I would train at least a little bit. So I did a ton of dry fire training. I live in a pretty decent house with a good basement down here, and I've, as you can see, I got dry fire targets taped up all over the walls. You can see myself. There we go, plate rack. And so I spent a ton of time dry firing in the basement. And what I learned at that match, I learned a lot at match. But one of the most important things that I learned was that all of the going fast in the world doesn't mean a thing if you can't hit what you're shooting. And it was one of those things where, like looks good on video running around and blazing targets, but you can't see video. So really digging down into the fundamentals helped me immensely. So my live fire training was really cut down into just the shooting part of training. I wasn't working on draws or reloads or anything like that.
And he froze.
Uh-oh. It's getting cold up there, so.
Oh, I thought that was me. I was like, I know I've been having computer issues, so I thought.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a commercial break. We're gonna go to Discount Corner.
Yeah, I was
here.
gonna say,
Oh,
go to
thank God. Can I come back?
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
there
Oh,
you
you're
go.
back.
Hey, everybody
Brought
feels
back to
like-
life.
I don't think I'm talking anymore.
Yeah.
What's the last thing that I said that was amazing? I'll pick up right there.
You have targets.
Your dry fire,
Okay.
you weren't working
You were
on
going-
reloads or anything. You were just working on the shooting part of dry fire.
All right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I really started working on the fundamentals, making sure that, when I was drawing in dry fire, it's really easy to get sloppy with everything, right? You're like, beep, click, oh yeah, 0.6 draw, nailed it. But your grip is trashed, your sights aren't aligned when you come up on target. And what I really, figured out at that match is that if you can just, add a couple of tenths to whatever you're doing and get some consistency back in the process, you're going to end up doing a lot better. And that's really what I've been focusing on, pretty much since then until now, and certainly into the future. Like I said, I mean, even since becoming an instructor at TPC, I went down and took a pistol class from Ron because I was like, yeah, the pistol's still not there. There's clearly some very foundational stuff that I'm either not doing right or just needs a little bit of tweaking here and there.
Boom. There you go. I mean, something so Dillers would really know what the takeaway is, that you pretty much amped up the dry fire all the way up, and then you took the live fire portion, didn't work on anything you could pretty much do in dry fire. You just worked on shooting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you went. That's how you went from crashing to second overall. So,
yeah, and
everyday practicing, obviously.
And everyday practicing, that helps a lot. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Like you get a lot more out of, if you can go out down every day and dry fire for 10 or 15 minutes, you get way more out of that than if you go down and bang out like a 2-hour session until your hands are bloody.
Yeah, there's some fatigue, fatigue issues,
Oh,
even
yeah.
from live fire to dry firing. Both of them, I always tell my students, especially a lot of my students are more newer shooters, that they just do too much, too long, and that hey, look, you can only break 4 good solid shots and hit exactly where you're doing it, but you're trying to shoot 10. Well, you're just not there yet. So yeah, I definitely I think quality over quantity.
Yeah, definitely. For the live fire stuff too, having a focus whenever I went out, knowing what I was going to do, and I very, very rarely go to the range with more than one gun, because the only thing you need 2 guns to practice is gun transitions, and you can practice that dry fire. So when I go to the range, it's like, today is a pistol day and I'm working on this, or today is a rifle day and I'm working on this, and I work on one thing and really try to drive that home, and then I move on to the next thing.
There you go. Good stuff. We're going to move on here to Discount Corner here. We're going to try to save you some money from some great manufacturers and companies who are affiliated with the show. Jen, do you have anything you want to start us off with?
Carbon Arms, you can get 10% off at carbonarms.us for the most awesome shotgun caddies, chest rigs, ratchet belt. I just got my ratchet belt and I'm so in love with it. It's awesome.
So what do you think of it? Have you got a chance to really?
I like it a lot. I'm very excited because to be able to tighten it down while I shoot and then loosen it to walk around is going to be amazing. So get one of those, get a belt. You can get an AR-15 handguard, all kinds of stuff. So check out Carbon Arms.
Yeah, carbonarms.us. What is the code?
TSM10.
There you go. Dustin, anything? You got any discounts?
Yeah. So you can go to the guys at X Products for all your awesome. There's my 9mm little PCC 50-round Colt mag. Boom, there. My awesome rifle that I'll be running this weekend at the Tactical Shit Side Charger. There's my 16-inch 9mm. So any of that fun stuff, cannons, all the good stuff at X Products. Go to xproducts.com. Use Dustin10, get the 10% off. Then you can head over to the awesome people at CompTech, comp-tac.com, and get your awesome inside the waistband holsters, little mag pouches, and also competition stuff. So I run their international holsters. They're awesome mag pouches. They'll be coming out with some Colt mag pouches soon, since all PCC is all the hotness. So you can use Dustin 1, and it'll get you 10% off on those guys there. Hit me up if you need anything black nitride, H&M black nitride, because black nitride matters, and I'll take care of you on that good stuff. And also step up your game and get some proper goodies. So hit me up, and I will get you a discount code for a very large percentage off on your next proper order. So hit me up. We could be BFFs on the face tubes.
Excellent. All right, large discount from Dustin on proper gear.
I feel like
I
he's
have no
fighting me
idea
over
what
this.
just happened.
Yeah, Nikki, what do you got in discounts?
If y'all saw me at NRA, y'all would have known that I was making it rain with discount code cards. So American Defense gave me new discount code cards. You know, same discount code, 3gun10, the number 3, the word gun 10. But here's your card. Put your little discount code information on it. But wait a minute. Oh, snap.
Oh, man.
Look
Who's
at that.
Who's that weirdo
Oh,
on the side, though?
I know. Who are the? Oh, man, they look so badass. But then you flip it around and look, you can save 10% in American Defense. So
There you go.
check out American Defense for all your rifle needs and your scope mount needs. Also, hit me up on Facebook for all my friend codes. I can save you a large percentage off True Spec.
I'll save you 21%.
Really, just 20%. Dustin's gonna save you 21%. It's whatever, you know. Me and Dustin are always like competing, I feel like. But I can save you 20% off True Spec. So hit me up, hit Heath up, hit Team Clevenger up. We can get you that. 15% at Criterion barrels. So if you need I just picked up a new 18-inch barrel for my long range class that I'm going to at the end of this month. Save you 15% on that. And I know there's something else. Oh, use discount code Clevenger with Red Hill Tactical to get one of those sweet holsters that me and Heath have been running for the last year. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, my local gun shop, the Outdoor Shop. Please go like them on Facebook. They're trying to get to 1,000 likes. I think they're at like 996. So they just need 4 more people, all 4 of you, to go to theoutdoorshop.com or the Outdoor Shop on Facebook and give them a like. They generally do FFLs for $25. It transfers for $25. But if you tell them Team Clevenger sent you, they'll do all your FFL transfers for $20. So check out the Outdoor Shop in York.
Yeah, there you go. Most of these discount codes can be found in the description box of the YouTube video. If you're watching on the YouTube side and you just want to click, they'll be there. On my end, what do I have? I have the folks over at Taran Tactical Innovations. I just did a video on the Glock 35 Combat Master that I have. I realized there wasn't much on YouTube World on that pistol, so I put up a video last night. And any Taran Tactical Innovations products, I can save you 10% off by using code TSM10 over at TaranTacticalInnovations.com. That's if the Shooter's Mindset shop doesn't have it in stock, which I don't have a lot of the stuff because I don't have all the colors of every base pad. It's kind of hard to stock all those, but yeah, 10% off that. The folks over at shop.tacticalshit.com, TSM10 saves you 10% off everything on their online store and at the retail store over in St. Peter's.
I guess they do have SIG braces in stock. So if you don't want, if you want to intermittently, every once in a while, sometimes shoulder your SBR for under.
They got those in stock.
They got those in stock.
And you can save 10% off.
That's what I just heard. So
yeah,
you can yell at the guy at the register.
Yeah, TSM10.
TSM10.
Yep.
And then smack them.
Also, what do I have here? I have Dewey rods. The folks over at DeweyRods.com, TSM15 save you 15% off everything over at DeweyRods.com. I have Rand CLP. I believe this is still valid. RandCLP.com. Mindset 16 saves you 15% off all your lubrication and gun cleaning needs over at RandCLP.com. And lastly, what do I have? Oh, UM Tactical. TSM10. UMTactical.com. Check out their Rage a fully adjustable Rage compensator. They have it for 30 cal, all the calibers. 7 they just came out with 7.62 by 3.9 and all the AK stuff and all that goodness, I guess. The stick is what I call the AK now, the stick. All right. But that'll do it for Discount Corner. Unless, Adam, you have anything you want to pitch in here?
Nothing I can throw up on a live video, but if anyone's interested in stuff from JP Rifles, hit me up and we'll see what we can work out.
No, so no 50% off suppressors.
No 50% off suppressors. Sorry, buddy.
See, he's got friend codes too. Y'all hating on me. Got to be friends with him to get them codes, man.
Yeah. See, there's so many things. I did those
right.
like a half SBR build, like Dustin said. I just threw on whatever. I just threw on like a SIG stock, but I cheek it. All right, don't listen.
I just said intermittently, sometimes, not all the time, not intended for. Just happens.
But
sometimes.
Then you run into the things that we were talking about. You know, like this handguard. I'm not going to be able to fit a can in it, so now I have to get a new handguard. It's the pain in the ass.
Bro.
Then I got to take the comp on, you know, whatever. You know, it's. But this is my first can, so I'm learning. Oh, at least I don't even have it yet, but I'm trying to figure out how to do these things.
That's how things go.
You'll get there, man. You'll get there.
And then can number 4,
get there
you're like,
eventually.
I got this. This is awesome.
Read a book, right? Reading's fundamental, I guess. But I'm gonna stay tuned for a video on this. This is 300 blackout, but I'm gonna take this lower. I'm gonna put a full auto lower on it, and I'm just gonna shoot full auto 300 blackout and see how it goes. We're testing some ammo from the folks over at Polycase Ammunition.
I was just about to say, you better have some cheap ammo because that's going to get real expensive in a hurry.
That's what I was thinking. That's an expensive Simeon.
My God.
I got a box of 2 from the kind folks at Polycase, and I figured full auto, it'll be fun to run it. You know, what better way to test it?
Exactly.
Full auto testing. So stay tuned for that. I got some video ready on my phone, so we'll see when it goes up live. All right. Also, lastly, we're back on Suppressor Talk. I really enjoy Suppressor Talk, and you guys released the Amtac Hornet, which is 9mm can. I mean, with PPC going wild, when can we really start seeing? You think there is going to be a point where we're going to start seeing a lot of cans on the competitive scene?
I don't, because they don't set off shot timers, and that's a problem. so no, I don't think we're going to start seeing cans in the competitive scene.
Even indoor,
also,
it doesn't work.
What's that?
I tried it on my indoor, so I run a 2-gun indoor range.
Tape the timer to the handguard.
And literally, well, no, I had my SBR with my can on it, and I had my timer literally right next to it, and I shot 5 times, and it picked up like 2 out of the 5.
Part-time stages.
Yeah.
Run. I mean, there's something you're gonna have to do where, kind of like that thing you're going to this weekend, where you just shoot as many as you can in a certain amount of time, where you're not actually using the shot time.
I have nothing against them, just if you have it.
PRS, they use them.
Yeah, PRS, they use them. So, but that's.
But they're all part-time stages in PRS, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're snipers. They got ghillie suits.
Doesn't really work with shot timers, so.
Crapper.
Sorry, buddy.
But also there is also always the debate on whether adding a suppressor to your rifle makes it less accurate or more accurate. I know we talked with the guys from PRS about this, and they gave a good explanation, but it requires proper threading between your rifle and the can, and then some testing and all that stuff to figure out what you're getting out of your cans. So what do you have to add to this highly debated topic?
Yeah, so there's 3 things that you really want to look for when it comes to shooting precision stuff with the suppressor. Number 1, it has to be accurate. Some cans make rifles more accurate. Some cans don't change accuracy, and some cans make rifles less accurate. If you're shooting a quarter-minute rifle, a can's not going to make your rifle more accurate, let's face it. But if you're shooting a 1-minute rifle, it just might. Specifically because it changes barrel harmonics. So, but what you can do very easily with the suppressor is make your rifle less accurate. So there's a lot of suppressors out there that turn half-minute rifles into 4-minute rifles, which is a huge, huge problem. So you want to buy a can from a manufacturer that is paying attention to concentricity. And we are not even remotely the only ones out there. Like Thunder Beast, for example, is making really, really good suppressors. They're extremely accurate. A lot of PRS shooters shoot those guys. But You generally want to stay away from quick detach cans for all those reasons I just talked about, tolerance stacking issues. You know, you can have a really good suppressor and a really good rifle and put a really bad, you know, muzzle brake or something, or not even really bad, but just a not perfect muzzle brake or flash hider between the two. And you can end up with a rifle that's not as accurate as it was before you put a suppressor on. The other things you need to pay attention to is a consistent return to zero. So when you take the suppressor off and put it back on, you want to make sure that your rifle is sitting in exactly the same spot, not kind of in the same spot, but exactly the same spot as it was before you took that thing off. And then in terms of point of impact shift, people get all wrapped around the axle with, oh, this can is a zero shift suppressor, or whatever the case may be. Your amount of shift is very much dependent on your rifle because suppress barrel harmonics. So some rifles will have a zero shift. Some rifles will have, you know, 3 minutes up. Some rifles have a minute up and a minute left. That's going to depend on your barrel length, your load, the suppressor, and a lot of other factors. What you want to make sure is you have something that has a very consistent shift. So if you're ever going to shoot with the suppressor off and you take it off and it shifts 1 minute up and a half a minute left, that's something that you can dial for. But if it goes a different place every single time you take it off, that's not something that you can adjust for. So you want a consistent shift, you want a very dependable return to zero, and you want a suppressor that's certainly not going to make your rifle any less accurate, and in best case scenario, make it more accurate.
Boom, there you go. That's a fast breakdown of how it's done. We have a couple live Facebook questions regarding this topic. What do you got, Dustin?
So if you, I guess, are your cans user serviceable?
So they are not. We initially did send them out into the world as user serviceable cans before anybody had ever heard of us. The reason is AMT, our kind of parent company, is a machine shop and not a welding shop. And when you're a machine shop, you cut threads. When you're a welding shop, you weld stuff. But the truth of the matter is you don't need to service a centerfire rifle suppressor. You look at everybody else's cans, they're all welded shut. And that's just fine because you're not shooting unjacketed lead bullets through them. Where if you have like a 22 suppressor, so this is our new can, world premiere right here, you guys. This is not seeing the light of day, but this is our Fire Ant. This is coming out next month. And this is a 22 suppressor, and this guy does come apart. Because there's 22, you're shooting unjacketed lead. That unjacketed lead strips off into the suppressor. And if you shoot it enough without cleaning it, eventually you end up with a brick with a hole down the middle of it instead of a suppressor, and it doesn't do you any good anymore. So you have to take that thing apart and clean it every once in a while.
I would say most industry across the board in the can worlds is the pistol caliber stuff is user serviceable, and then the rifle cal is not, just because there's a lot more tolerances there, and a lot more bad juju stuff could happen if Joe Bob puts it together wrong. So speaking of putting it together wrong,
exactly.
The other one is, go for it, Jen.
Oh, the other one, you want me to go for it?
Sure.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Do you use the blast cones or core baffles?
So we have a monocore design. It's a single piece baffle structure, which basically means it goes in as a solid tube of a 17.4 pH stainless. And they cut the baffles, drill the bore, cut the threads, do all of that stuff in one operation. So every single suppressor comes out completely identical. So you can, that return to zero thing I was talking about, you can shoot a rifle, different suppressor on that rifle and shoot it, and it's going to impact in exactly the same place.
There you go. We have one also for Nikki in the chat.
Sorry, I forget I'm on mute because these dogs. Integrated suppressors. What was your opinion on those? Do you do the? Oh goodness gracious!
I'm giving her. All right. Well, I heard the question before the dog started freaking out. So, which is crazy.
Do you do them, and how do you feel about them? Pretty much.
So we don't do them primarily because we do the overbarrel stuff. I think they're great. They're a very niche product, but this is coming from a company that already makes pretty niche products. Let's face it, there's not a lot of overbarrel suppressors out there. Integrated suppressors are totally fine. I've shot like some 1022s and some Ruger Mark IIIs and stuff that have integrated suppressors, and they're awesome. Drawback to them is they are permanently attached to that rifle, that pistol, whatever the case may be, so you can't move them around from one to another. And as a couple of you guys know, for. And if you can get a suppressor and use it on a couple guns, it's pretty darn nice.
Yeah, makes life a lot easier. Or you get, your buddy goes out and shoots, your friend or family member goes out and shoots with you, and they have a threaded barrel or whatnot. And you can just be like, hey, you want to know what yours would look like? Here you go.
Yep. Boop, boop, boop. Exactly. They pretty much sell themselves, don't they?
Yeah, it really is. Just like, well, most people don't know you can have them. Like that's the biggest thing is like, what? Are you an assassin? Do you work for the government? You're like, no, dude. Like you just pay monies and you wait time, and if you're a model citizen, they give you a high five, and then you can just, do stuff, do fun things. And
I always tell people the story that I'm in, like, I'm $1,200 in or whatever, and I'm waiting a year, and they're like, oh no, and they get completely turned off.
So once you've done a Form 1 or a Form 4, I've done Form 3s, I've done other forms as well. But once you do one of those, or you have somebody walk you through, like hold your hand and be like, let's go fill out a Form 4 today. And then like put your name here, put your thing here. So once you do it, it becomes very, very easy.
It's like going to your first match, right? The first time you show up, you're like, oh my God, there's all these people, they're shooting really fast. I don't know what
I put my sticker where?
And then fast forward 2 weeks and you're fine. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not that bad after. I was like, man, it's a pain in the ass the first time, but actually it's not that bad when you think about it.
And it's just like guns. So NFA items are just like guns. So like you get one gun and you're like, but that thing does that other thing that I want. And that thing does things really far away. And that thing does a whole bunch of things really fast. So like NFA things, you're just like, oh, I got the one thing that goes to my pistol, but I have rifles. Oh, that thing does things with rifles? I need one of them things. Well, that thing does things really short? Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
So
that's the best description of guns I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm around them a lot.
Okay, so we have a comment here that says sometimes slow is fast. What's the saying that we hear in the gun world? What is
smooth is fast?
Smooth is fast. Slow is not fast. Smooth is fast.
Slow is not fast. Slow is never fast. Smooth can be fast, but slow is not fast.
So is smooth fast?
And smooth is generally fast.
Okay,
so it depends on if it's my smooth or someone else's smooth.
I can't even piece it together. What is it? Slow is
smooth is fast.
Oh, there it is.
That's it. Yeah. So you guys were talking about Ron. If you watch Ron draw, Ron can very consistently throw down draws like in the high sixes, and he does not look fast, but there's no wasted movement. It's just very, very smooth. So smooth is fast, slow is not fast. When people are like at a match and somebody's shooting and somebody else yells, slow down, I'm like, oh God, no, don't slow down. Just do everything right.
Don't suck. Stop missing things.
Suck less.
Yeah.
Shoot fast, don't miss. I like when people yell that right before the buzzer goes off. Hey, don't suck. You're like, all right, shit.
Right on. Havoc Legion shooting team, Adam, if you could go back to the beginning of competition shooting, how would you change your training from the beginning?
So you cut it out a little bit, but it sounded like you said if I went back to the beginning of my competition shooting, what would I change?
Right.
Okay. I would start with learning how to shoot the pistol very well, just standing there and shooting. The fundamentals, the fire control of shooting the pistol, how to grip it, how to pull the trigger, because that translates into everything else.
What to you is extremely well just standing there? Let's say, is it pushing out the target 10 yards and just standing there at an indoor range and just trying to put a quarter-sized group up? What to you is being good, getting to that level?
Getting to that level is still being able to shoot at a very fast speed. So there's a lot of people that can stand there and shoot a dime-sized group, and then you put a timer behind them and they can't hit cardboard. So being able to shoot a pistol really well is being able to execute the fundamentals so consistently that no matter how fast you're shooting, you can still shoot really well. So like people who can stand there and shoot 20-yard plate racks and just shoot plate rack after plate rack after plate rack and shoot 10-yard plate racks, things along those lines. But it's really those fundamentals. So when I started competitive shooting. I'd already been shooting for, many, many years. I, grew up on a farm shooting 22s and shooting shotgun on the afternoon or, the weekends, things like that. And then when I started 3-gun shooting, I thought, oh, I already know how to shoot. Now I need to learn how to do all this running around and reloading and gun transitions and things like that. And I learned how to do that. But when I went to my first major match, which was MGM Iron Man, after, just like curb stomping people at local matches, I went there and just got completely thrashed. Because when it really came down to it, I didn't have the stand there and shoot skills, which is a lot of what that match demands. You might have, let's say you're going to, shoot a whole bunch of pistol, 2 or 3, 4 reloads maybe, and then run 100 yards and carry a dummy and everything else, and then lay down and just calm yourself down and shoot a rifle at small targets at a very long distance. And when it comes down to it, you have to just be able to press the trigger straight back. And the same thing applies to pistol. Like, they have crazy pistol targets there. The first year that I went, you had to shoot a pistol plate rack with your weak hand. You got both hands, but your weak hand had to be the one holding the gun, running the trigger at 50 yards.
Oh.
That was on one of the stages there. That was my very first stage at Ironman, was shooting a pistol with my left hand at 50 yards.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm in some serious trouble here, because I thought I knew what I was doing, because I'm like running around and shooting at, paper that's 10 feet away at club matches, and now I have to do that kind of stuff. Or, like put a tar at it like 30 yards instead of 10. Or, whatever. It doesn't have to be long range shots, but they have a lot of those like triple plate racks there. We have a plate rack and it falls down. There's a plate rack behind it with the squares, and it falls down. There's a plate rack behind it with the triangles, and it falls down. You guys shot those things? Yeah, they're no fun after you've been shooting for like a minute and a half already. And what it really
You're like, why are there so many?
Why aren't they going? I keep shooting them, and there's still more. And so what it really comes down to is just those fundamentals of shooting, and being able to apply those fundamentals in a stressful situation, which is, what competition shooting is, right? So that's what I would have done from day one. I would have gone out with somebody who knew what he was doing, who could have taught me just the fundamentals of pistol shooting, just to stand there and shoot skills. Because all the other stuff you can kind of learn on your own. You can kind of learn at matches and things like that. But the real fundamental skills, you pretty much need somebody to teach you how to do it. And especially if you're learning things the wrong way, then when you do finally have somebody teach you how to do it, you have to unlearn the wrong way before you can learn the right way. Because otherwise, as soon as you start going fast, the wrong way just comes back into play, and you start doing all the things incorrectly.
Yeah, I mean, how many of us here practice shooting a rifle left-handed, like totally off, or like a pistol with, controlling everything like this is left-handed? I remember one stage, very few and far in between, you'll get a pistol match. I mean, this was an IDPA match back in the day. I think it was Carolina Cup. And one stage was you had to shoot the entire stage with your support hand. So if you were left-handed, it was your right hand. If you were right-handed, it was left hand. Yeah. And you had and they didn't have you draw from a holster, obviously, but it was, you started in the low ready, and it was so foreign. Right. Yeah. I actually ended up doing well. They actually had targets pretty close up. So, I mean, it wasn't bad, but you also had to perform a reload, using the opposite hand, and it was all funky. And I was like, man, I'd never practiced in my life. Luckily, I still had pretty solid pistol skills. I mean, if I'm good at anything, at shooting a pistol, and I was still able to do pretty decent on that stage, but I've never ever practiced it before until that stage.
That first Ironman, there was actually another stage that you had to shoot the whole stage left-handed with your pistol, your rifle, and your shotgun. There was a rifle reload left-handed. There was a bunch of shotgun reloading left-handed. There's some pistol reloading left-handed.
Oh man.
Yeah. And that's a pretty extreme example, right? It's like most of the time, most matches aren't going to make you do that. And I mean, even that match since then hasn't made you do that. But the point is, those fundamental skills are applicable across all 3 guns. And they are the things that make a difference between the really, really, really good shooters and the also rans but look really fast, right?
I hardly have time to live fire practice as is. I don't think when I do finally get to the range and actually get to shoot, I'm going to spend time practicing left-handed stuff. I think there's more things I personally need to work on, like my regular pistol shooting with 2 hands, which is probably about as good as me shooting left-handed. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
focus on some other things, you know.
This is one of those things that Anthony talked about earlier, where he's talking about how do you focus your practice, and I'm gonna focus my practice on the thing that is costing me the most time over the course of a match.
Yeah,
So for the Ironman, yeah, whatever you suck. Well, not necessarily whatever you suck at, because let's say you suck at drawing, right? Your draw is 2 seconds. It's horrendously bad. In the grand scheme of a 3-gun match at MGM Ironman, where Daniel Horner's time is 200 seconds, what does that extra second really matter? It doesn't matter at all. As long as
I
you
think
come out of
we've
the grip
talked about this before. Like if you did the math of a 2-second draw, you're going to do more target-to-target transitions throughout a match
Yes.
than you are going to draw a
drawing in
match.
3-gun is not a big deal. In a
Exactly.
pistol sport, yeah. In a pistol
in a
sport,
pistol sport, it matters a lot. In a 3-gun sport, it doesn't really matter that much. But like gun transitions, target-to-target transitions, things along those lines, long-range rifle. If you want to just butcher your match, shoot the pistol extremely well and just suck at long-range rifle. Because if you can't shoot long-range rifle, you're just going to get massacred at any match.
You need
that
to
has
know
a
your
long-range
holes
rifle on it.
for sure. Know your dope.
Exactly. Good ammo, and then good building good positions is something that we see people struggle a lot with at matches, and that's a big part of the coaching that we do at TPC. For how to come into a barricade and build a good position, and we don't do a lot of stuff with like, this is how you use the second tier on a VTAC barricade. Like we don't do that. We teach fundamentals, the principles behind building a good position. So when you come up to a rock or a log or the side of the building or a wheelbarrow turned over on its side or a golf cart or whatever it is, you can build a good position on that obstacle, whatever it is, to get those long range hits.
When I first started shooting, sorry, go ahead, Dustin.
Okay. I was gonna say, going off of that, I'm gonna go try to shoot at least one of them. It's like a PRS match here locally in the Midwest. It's called the Most Series, and with my 3-gun rifle, just to get that into positions, out of positions, but then to calm down and shoot a 400-yard shot that you potentially can do, and especially in like Superstition, Rocky Mountain, Rock Hill, you can get 600-700-yard shots. So if you can get calmed down, now I'm definitely not going to make the 12, 13, 14 yard shot, 100-yard shots that these dudes who are building 6.5s and crazy whatever caliber stuff that they're pounding all day long. But I wanted to go and just have a goal from 100 yards to 700 yards. I'm going to be so sound with that distances that I know my holds and my sweet vortex rifle. that you can go in there, go up, and you can 1 to 2 shot something. We see people all the time in 3-gun go to war. That's one thing I had to learn from me being a pistol shooter to go to a 3-gun match. Learn when to give up.
That's what I was gonna say. When I first started shooting distance, I'd give it 2 to 3 good shots, 3 of my best shots, and if I didn't hit it, I moved on. Because I've seen people dump mags trying to hit 1. It's not worth the time, and you still missed it, and you wasted all that ammo. 3 good shots and move on. Luckily, I don't have to do that anymore. My equipment has gotten better. I have gotten better, but when I first started, 3 shots and move on.
There was one stage out of like 7 years, one stage that I can say that I've beaten some of the big top named dudes. And it was on a stage that was real fast pistol to a transition of long distance. Well, there was like plate rack at like 100, and there was like a few targets to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and everybody was just going to war with that. And then they weren't getting down. Like you had to run around a corner and shoot a whole bunch of shotgun. Everybody's timing out on the long distance stuff. So I told myself, hey, I can bang the 100, I can bang the 200, I can bang the 300 because I know I'm very proficient at that. Everything after that, I'm giving it 2-3 shots, moving on, 2-3 shots, moving on, 2-3 shots. And actually I got down and I cleared the rest of it. And me doing that, getting the penalty for not hitting, but clearing the rest of the stage actually got better than everybody else timing out on the stage. So, and I'm like,
I've seen that happen before too.
Shit. That was amazing.
The people forget that there's other parts of stages. Sometimes the long range is not the last part of the stage, and there's other parts of the stage you need to complete. Yeah. And they get hung up on that 1 or 2 long range targets, and it's like, move on.
Yeah. Tim here says, Adam, what's your take on 3D printed suppressors? Now, my take on anything 3D printed as far as gun goes, I guess it hasn't
Isn't it
grown
plastic?
on me. Yeah, it hasn't grown on me. I mean, there's a lot of companies who are good at it that are coming out with accessories for rifles and
Wouldn't it
scope.
melt?
No,
Scope, but
you do a very high tolerance polymer. I've only
Oh,
seen
okay.
one. I haven't seen like they're literally like, look what I made. That's the only thing I've actually
Yeah.
seen.
I saw
I've
a
never seen-
handguard. I think there was a picture of a handguard 3D printed.
Well, no, the
From Interracial?
actual silencer itself.
Yeah.
No, I don't know any decibel readings on it. I don't.
There's a couple now. Down Near the Fence actually just came out with one at NRA show.
The wave thing.
Yeah, the wave.
That's 3D.
Yep, that's 3D printed.
Oh.
So it's I honestly I don't know enough about how 3D printing works to have any kind of authoritative response to this. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. I have a very
Daniel
strict
Defense has a
don't talk
suppressor
about-
that's 3D printed.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I knew DD came out with a sensor because all of their bathroom advertising. Ladies, you don't know.
No.
You have no idea. It was
Every shot show and NRA show, literally
as
No,
Arthur would
there's
say,
Daniel
for-
Defense ads in the girls' room too.
above
There,
the
Daniel.
urinals.
And when you close the door, they're on the back of the doors.
Okay, so
Does
what-
it say
what-
something to the fact of when you rather have this in your hand or something to the fact of that?
No, they don't say that. No, they
Wouldn't you
don't.
like that? That's awesome
That's
advertising.
And no one's
hilarious.
got a picture of that?
Well, but the bad thing is if you
Maybe we
find
guys
out-
give a photo, but like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Just getting a
Yeah.
photo. Not anything else. Or eyes forward.
Uh-huh. You Snapchatting somebody.
And think about that logistically. Like, if that works and everybody goes from the bathroom to the Daniel Defense booth, do you really want to be in the Daniel Defense booth at that point?
Yeah.
Hey, I saw your. Hey, shake my hand real quick. I saw your advertising. I just came right over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like perfectly
I'm gonna
eye
go ahead
level
and-
with the urinal.
Hand sanitizer
Beautiful.
here real quick.
Oh man, well done. So I don't know. 3D printing, it seems to be catching on. It seems like more companies are coming
I
out.
think
with
it
stuff.
does.
I just don't know.
I think it does open up a lot of options in the future because there's only so much that you can do machining. There are limitations to it. We've run into this a lot where an engineer will draw something up and then we take it to the floor and they're like, yeah, it actually can't be made. Like this is, this is make believe. Figure out a way to do it differently. So I feel like 3D printing is going to bring a lot of that kind of stuff into the fold. But I like I said, I don't know enough about it to know if it's quite there yet.
Right on. I got a few last minute ones here. This was submitted from somebody here. It says, "Ask Adam, what's the best place you can get a WW6?"
There's a guy named Sam down in Arizona. He'll hook you up.
Now,
Yeah.
what is a WW6? 'Cause I have no idea what any. I just threw it in my nose. I'm like, what is a WW6? They're like, I don't know, but it's probably going to be a good story. There's got to be a good story behind it. So I don't know.
Somebody came into a gun shop that a buddy was working at, and he was asking for some of that WW6, and it went on for just like several minutes until he finally figured out that the guy meant 9mm. If you turn the 9mm cartridge over upside down, it says WW6.
So I always say 9 mic because you got that
9
4.5.
mic.
So
Exactly.
I say 9 mic
You got
on
that
everything.
4.5? Yeah.
You got that
Exactly.
4.5 or that 4
So
row.
I don't know if WW6 is like gang slang or if the dude just like literally read it upside down or what. But
I don't know, but the gang slang always throws me off. But I tell
Everything
you
else
what,
would be everything else would be backwards then.
I know.
You got that 6 plus
Yeah.
our
Right,
logo.
exactly. But you got a WW6 on the end of it.
And you got that WW.
yeah. Oh man, you really just learned the lingo in a gun shop, man. That's the fastest way.
Yeah.
If you work at a gun shop, you learn the lingo real quick. I'm like, shit. What rapper came out with this shit in a song? But how's the best way? Okay, so if I'm taking a 3-gun class with you, or with anybody else, what's the best way to prepare to take that 3-gun class?
Oh, that's good. So, rule number 1: show up with a zeroed rifle. You want a rifle that, regardless of what your zero distance is, whether it's 50 or 100 or 200 or 300, show up with a zeroed rifle that hits where you expect it to hit. A lot of people show up. Oh man, there's some serious dog action going on there. That's awesome.
Is that's not the baby, is it? No,
That's the
way.
baby.
That thing is
50
huge.
pounds. 50 pounds and 7 months old.
Nice.
Have you seen Heat? I
It
mean,
like went from like month to month to being like a baby fresh out to being that big.
I know. He grew quick.
Jeez. All right. Well, back to some zeroing rifle
Sorry.
for classes.
That's all good. I'm easily distracted by dogs.
He's like, dog?
Yeah, Doc, what? I mean, you guys saw me run off. My dog was getting into some stuff that it shouldn't have gotten into. So, so you want to show up with a zeroed rifle. It doesn't really matter the difference, but you want to know what your zero is. You want to have an idea of what your holds are, but we're going to talk you through that quite a bit. That's definitely the most important thing. The other thing is just showing up with gear that runs. And a lot of people roll into a class, like we've had people roll into classes with several shotguns and several pistols. And when you're changing gear constantly, it makes it really hard to learn stuff. So pick a rifle, a pistol, a shotgun that you're going to run. Get through the class. You can apply all of those fundamentals to all of your other stuff, but roll into the class is what you shoot matches with and just use that.
Boom, a zeroed rifle.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
so I can't bring an optic and a mount in my rifle and then have you just
Yeah.
you just put the screws in the top and you just crank them down, right?
So what happens is, well, we can, except
Work
then
your
we're no longer
magic.
teaching the class. Now we're working on your gear, and all those other people who paid several $100s to be there aren't getting anything out of it. So
Yeah.
I
don't
never
do that.
would have thought that people actually show up without a zeroed rifle. That blows my mind.
I just got this brand new gun. I got this brand new optic. Can you just put it on for
Heck
me?
yeah,
You
you
put
just
this
put
on
it
for
on,
me, sir?
crank it down.
Yeah,
Well, it's okay though, because Vortex is always zeroed all the time. You don't have to
Yeah.
adjust it. Yeah.
I just put it on and that's already zeroed. It's weird. It's just
That's how that works. At like 12 feet,
Yeah.
that works.
Is that mints? It is. Is that thin mint?
Thin Mint's inside.
Best Girl Scout cookie out there.
Made out of
Dr. Ruben and Travis at Vortex, when you're placing an order, tell them to get you that thin mint coating.
That's right.
All right, and lastly, there was we talked about this, I think, in the pre-show. There was on the shootersmindset.com. Go click on the blog section. Jessica Nitzel just put up an article on pretty much surviving your first few matches, some tips for the new guys. So we hit you with this question: best way to introduce new people to the sport?
Ooh, that's good. What I tend to do, I will bring somebody out for just a day of shooting, and I will just kind of explain to them how it works a little bit. I will teach them how to draw from a holster in the most safe manner that I possibly can. Not looking for speed, not looking for any of that. You just want to make the person safe. The things that people are going to do in their first match that they haven't done, anywhere else is drawing, reloading, but more importantly, the safety rules for the range. So knowing what the 180 rule is, knowing how to be safe in general, just some basic stuff like knowing that you can't unbag your gun anywhere outside the safe area. So just talk people through the logistics of how the match kind of operates. Go shoot the match with them. If you can't shoot the match with them, get them squatted with somebody that that is going to be able to kind of like walk them through it a little bit. Because the most intimidating part, I mean, all of you guys and me and everybody else in the shooting world at some point walked up to a match cold, maybe by yourself, maybe not, and was like, I want to play. That looks like fun. And it's the most intimidating thing in the world. I got a gun. Yeah, exactly. And it's the most intimidating thing in the world. And, now that we've done it a bunch, it's really easy to take for granted how terrifying it was that first time that you went out and you knew that you had no idea what you were doing. I know people who are police. I know people who are combat veterans who don't want to go to a match because they don't want to get beat by a dentist. And that is also a realistic concern. Like there's going to be some dude that's like, works the counter at a Safeway who is absolutely going to crush like combat veterans because he spends every waking moment practicing for this, right? Yeah. So you need to explain to them how the safety rules work, show them the basic things that they're going to need to know just to get through a match safely, and then bring them to a match. If you have really good gear and they have crap, switch with them. I will happily go shoot a match. Well, now I have just essentially two of everything. And, the rigs that my sponsors put together for me, I actually put that together, and that's my loaner rig. JP built me a rifle.
Yeah,
Vortex sent me some scope, some optics, and I was already shooting their top shelf stuff before one of those guys sponsored me. So what I did is I put together a loaner rig, and that is the rig that people shoot when they come out and they shoot a match with me, because I want them to have a really good experience. I don't want them to be shooting a $500 AR with iron sights at 700-yard target. So bring your good stuff. If you don't have two kits, which most people don't have, and this is new to me too, I'll shoot their stuff and let them shoot my stuff, because I want to make sure that they have a really good experience. And
so pretty much be a mentor for them, guide them through their it's kind of like that suppressor form. Hold your hand through it. Someone hold your hand through it. I had someone. I called everybody. I called someone and I'm like, dude, what do I do?
Yeah.
Where do I take? Where can I get fucking passport photos done at 6:00 p.m. during the day? No, they're closed. I was calling all these folks to try to help me out. So be a mentor for them, and also eliminate the excuses, right? So have gear for them to use.
Let them fold, right? Because everyone's like, I got to get better before I go. Don't let them get away with that. If they want to go shoot, schedule a match. Hey, I signed you up. We're going to have to shoot on the 26th, and just take them out and get them shooting.
Oh, I don't have a rifle.
All the people who
you don't have a pistol.
Yeah, the people who are just like, well, can I come and watch? I go, yeah, you can, but I don't want to hear it. They're like, what? I'm like, I don't want to hear you cry when you come and watch and you're like, oh, I could do this, or that looks awesome. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hear it, because I told you to come and shoot guns, and you can easily do it.
Exactly.
Come and just shoot guns. It's not a big deal.
Really quick thing too is don't take people to a 3-gun match for their first competition match. Take them to a pistol match, because there's way too much going on. I've seen people that throw up to a 3-gun match and it's their first match ever. And I was like, dude, what were you thinking? You couldn't have found a USPSA match to start.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. We have some close range, like not over 100-yard bays 3-gun matches that are really new shooter friendly.
Oh, cool.
So there's this one match here in South Carolina it's Greenville Gun Club. They don't have any sort of distance, so if you don't have a big scope or anything like that, it's very new. Anytime someone's like, hey, I want to come out and try a 3-gun, I'm like, go to Greenville Gun Club and try their match, because I think you'll really like how simple it is, but not too simple where you're not getting a taste of what a match is. Now, I would never take them out to Clinton House, where the 3-Gun Nation Regional is this weekend, and let them shoot a monthly match out there, because the monthly matches you're getting out in Clinton are pretty much the same thing you're going to see this weekend at a regional, and that'll totally discourage you.
But you add more than just like, hey, I got this handgun in my hand. Oh, I got a rifle, and I got this shotgun thing.
Now, I'm also with you. I'm also with you on, I wish I had shot a ton of pistol before I ever got in the 3-gun. In that case, yes, I'm always pushing people to go shoot pistol matches first so they can get good at that, instead of trying to jump in the 3-gun, and that skill kind of teeters, with being
it's a lot to work on. I mean, you got to get really good. Well, not really good. You need to get proficient in all 3 guns, essentially. Yeah. And usually people don't have that practice. They don't have the schedule practice out, so they'll just practice shotgun loading, right? Because that's something hard to really get down and be smooth with. So people.
Oh, I don't even have to put pants on to practice shotgun loading. Yeah. It's awesome. So
you get fast at quad loading, and then people suck at pistol.
That might be TMI.
Well, I mean, I use a chest rig, so I can be in my PJs as long as I put my chest rig on. I'm loading shotgun in my PJs. But if I want to dry fire with pistol, I have to put pants on that have belt loops so I can get my belt on. So when I'm drawing my pistol, I don't give myself a wedgie or yank my belt up past my hips. So no, believe me, pants have been the struggle when it comes to dry fire. Like I have a pair of practice pants. They're the pants because I put pants on, you wear them one time, not even, for like 2 hours to dry fire. If you're committing 2 hours, it's 2 hours for me because I get distracted and I Facebook for a little bit and then I go back to dry firing. And 2 hours later, I've finally finished dry firing. And I put those pants aside and wear those same pants to dry fire the next day or in the next couple days.
Belt on it, the whole rig, just like that.
Just practice pants.
It's like a firefighter, you just kind of put them in.
Side note, and then we're going to wrap this one up here. what's exciting about a hammer fire gun, right? And I just, with the lighting that I have going on here, right? You see the like oil, like just mist off the back of the hammer every time you dry fire it, right? It's really satisfying. You're like,
It's the magic. That's the magic happening.
Yep,
I
that's
still
it.
can't
Right
believe you
there.
got that deal.
Yeah.
Did,
it.
did a GM card come with that?
It didn't. I wish it would have did, and then I could have boasted about it and say that I won club match or something. You know, it's
probably in the mail. It fully has it in the mail for you, I'm sure.
Probably. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Let me see if we have any last minute live questions. No, we're good on my end. Anything on Facebook we want to hit before we wrap it up?
I think we're all.
I was gonna say I'm not responsible for Facebook or YouTube comments, so we're good on my end.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so we're gonna wind this one down with shout outs here. Nikki, we're gonna start off with you.
All right, let me look at my jersey. Hold on, my little discount card with my jersey on it.
Get real close.
It's so little. I can't see.
Just look at Heath. It's all big.
I know his shirt,
Yeah,
y'all. When you see our jerseys together, ridiculous. The size of he is a full-on billboard, and I am like a poster for these things. But
you can only see one logo at a time. It depends on the angle you're looking.
Yeah, pretty much. But shout out Criterion Barrels, American Defense Manufacturing, Eagle Imports, True Spec, Stage Zero Shooting Supply, Pure Gold Shotgun Chokes, the official choke of 3 Gun Nation, Red Hill Tactical, Safari Land, The Outdoor Shop, and then I think that's all my sponsors. And then I always like to shout out companies that don't sponsor me, but I really dig their products and what they got going on. So I'm going to shout out Tough Products, ZT Knives, and Dangerous But Good. So check those companies out. Oh, and Techwear, because my jerseys look so sweet.
There you go. Jennifer, you're up.
Alrighty, Lanzang Tactical for awesome rifles. They just had a big party at NRA and a fundraiser for military stuff that helps support special forces. So that was good. Zero Tolerance Knives. This is the 0460, if y'all can see it. It's brown. It's so pretty.
So I went by
Nice.
to interrupt you rudely. I went by the Kershaw ZT knife because Kershaw did some Springfield Armory.
I have to show y'all my knife. Hold
and
on.
they're like, oh, the girls, they're like, oh yeah, you're on the Shooters Mindset. And they're like, oh yeah, the girls in the Shooters Mindset have ZT knives. And I was like, yeah, I don't have ZT knives. I just got a whole bunch of Kershaw knives and I sell a whole bunch of Kershaw knives. So that'd be nice to have a ZT knife. And the guy was like, here's my card. I'm like, oh.
Who was it, Kale? Who'd you talk to?
I think the guy's name was Pat, and then there's a lady, and the lady was all like, oh, I know those girls here. So I was like, well, I have like 7 Kershaw knives, and I was like, this model, this model, this model, this model. And they're like, oh, dang, you actually do know some knife things. And I was like, yeah, we got to get you a ZT knife. And I was like, I would like a ZT knife.
Y'all, this is my new Kershaw knife. They had a special going at, it's just a little guy, because we were talking to Susan, me and my twin sister. I was introducing Susan, my twin sister, and my sister was talking about how knives are usually really heavy and hard to hide, that you kind of need a knife that you can hide in your bra. And Danny, my sister Danny, was joking that because we have such small boobs, you'd need a really small knife to hide in her bra. And sure enough, Kershaw has this little tiny knife.
Yeah, the
Not
bottle
too
opener
tiny.
on it. Yeah.
Got a ball
Is that
opener,
the keychain?
screwdriver, yeah. And then
Yeah, I
look,
have that on my keychain.
if you bought this knife or any knife at that booth at NRA, they would engrave it for free. So for $16, I got this sweet Kershaw knife, and they engraved Team Clevenger shooting on it for me.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's sweet.
$16, y'all. Look at that.
See?
And
I'm
Very
just
sweet.
yeah.
They had that. I'm pretty sure pretty much the best deal I think I found at the NRA show right there.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
So I'm
Sharon,
gonna
sorry. Go ZT.
Because I always harass Anthony about going long for his. So Night Force Optics, Load Up Ammunition, Sharpshooters of Augusta and Shooters of Augusta, Lucas Oil Outdoor Line, Proper, Carbon Arms, Sampson Manufacturing, TacticalLife.net, and Star Spangled Bangers. We're just having a little talk about some things. So that'll be coming up, some stuff coming up with them.
Nice. Dustin, what do you have?
As always, the awesome people over at Springfield Armory, Proper, Tactical Shit, X Products, Rise Armaments. Can't wait to get my cyan rifle from those dudes. BBI bullets and hardcore ammunition, Dissident Arms for all your communist needs, Vortex Optics, because we run the best stuff. Edge Tactical Eyewear, American Manufacturing, and yes, I was staying at my sweet Red Roof Inn at the NRA show, and it was awesome. And it was only like, well, it would have only been like 5 minutes away, but there was like 20 minutes with freaking traffic, so it happens. But Pro Ears, Comtech Holsters, and Spencer Race Guns.
Adam, what do you have? Shout out to?
I'll start with my wife, Jen. Those who don't know me, my wife is Canadian. She doesn't shoot guns. She doesn't like guns. I literally cannot get her to shoot a pellet gun. But I have all this stuff down here. I got dry fire targets taped up over the walls. She's a very accommodating person. She plays hockey instead of shooting guns, so we couldn't be any more stereotypical. And she's not going to listen to this, so I'm not going to get any points for it, but I want to give her some love anyways. Amtac for not only giving me a paycheck, but giving me the opportunity to shoot a lot of matches. It's pretty awesome that for my job I get to travel and shoot and talk to people and coach and things like that. Vortex, they were the first people to bring me on as a sponsored shooter, and I was already running the nicest thing that they made on everything that went bang when they brought me on. But when they did, like I said, with Vortex and JP both is already running the really good stuff, and we made a kind of a loaner gun for people. So I thought that was really cool that they were willing to throw in for people who are just trying out the sport. TPC for giving me the opportunity to teach people. I love coaching. I love teaching people. I love seeing people get better, and it's a pretty awesome opportunity. The Armory Shooting Range, which is right down the street from me here. Those guys give me a place to train, give me a place to practice, give me a place to work on whatever I need to work on. And they're like the exact opposite of most gun stores, where they're not going to go in there and tell you what you need. They're a very, very knowledgeable crew in there, and they can get you set up with what you actually need, as opposed to what some dude behind the gun counter thinks you need. Sit-Tac Targets, who I'm shooting for, they make really cool targets. They fold up into a little duffel bag, so you don't need a 18-wheeler to haul around your stuff to go practice. And I'm not sponsored by them, but Carbon Arms, I want to give them a shout out, because we went and we shot Superstition a couple weeks ago here, or a month ago, whatever it was. And I talked my boss into shooting a slot that we got while I kind of babysat the stage gun for their match. And I loaned him all of my gear. I just gave him my rifle and my shotgun and everything. And I met one of the guys from Carbon Arms, Mark. And while I was talking to Mark, my boss was busy losing my 24-round backbone and came home without it. And so I had to order another one. And I just put a little note in the checkout, and I was like, hey, while I was talking to you on stage, whatever it was, my boss was busy losing the backbone that I lost, but it's a really good caddy. I really enjoy it. I'm happy to buy another one. It's money well spent. And they sent me a pinwheel with the backbone that I ordered, with a note that says, don't stop loaning stuff to new shooters. So I thought that was really cool. And that goes in my my loaner kit for people, along with my my backup rifle and shotgun and pistol and stuff. As far as individual people, if I had to sit here and list all the people, we'd never go to bed tonight, so I'm not going to do that. But I do want to give a shout out to since he's the one who started me down this road in the first place. And like all of you guys, if somebody didn't drag you to first match, we all wouldn't be here. So that's pretty cool.
Boom, there you go. Big shout out to the folks at Carbon Arms. It's very nice of them. And I was going to shout them out, but you guys already done it for me. So big shout to Carbon Arms. Also the folks over at Tactical Shit. Check out shop.tacticalshit.com, man. Tons of stuff on the website over there. They support the game of 3-gun. They're competitive shooters themselves. So go support the companies that support us. All right. Also, Taran Tactical Innovations. Yeah, all the Baller 3-gunners, I think, are winning with Benelli M2s teched out by TTI. There's a lot of good manufacturers that are modifying them too, but Benelli seems to be, amongst the top. shotguns. You can get one from TTI, and they can save you 10% off, and that's like a few $100s off that purchase using our 10% code that we talked about in the discount corner. So shout out to Taran Tactical Innovations and the folks over at Rand CLP. And also, lastly, I'm going to cut shout outs a little short here, but I'm also going to say subscribe to the channel. Right below the video, you see a subscribe button. Every Wednesday at 9, we do a new episode of the Shooter's Mindset. You might find some gear review things that I put up once in a blue moon like I did last night. And if you want to email me, theshootersmindset@gmail.com is a good way to do that. Big thanks to Adam for coming on, spending 2 hours plus with us here on the Shooter's Mindset show. We got to talk about some 30 cal cans now that I got one for 5.56. Now I have a 300 blackout. I need 2 cans now. Now I'm going to need a 9mm after that. Then I'm going to need a 45 after that, whatever.
It's a vicious cycle, dude.
I should have just bought them all at one time, and then I could have just had all the paperwork sent in at the same time, and I could have all got them at once. But that's not the case, I wish. But there you go. That'll do episode 178 of the Shooter's Mindset Show. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We'll catch you on the next one.